Hey, hey, hey! It's Carolynne from NonnasNuttykrafts. So let me you guys. Hopefully we don't have two going. I think it says it's live. Let me just check the other camera really quick. Yep, we're good, we're good. So we're just gonna give a few minutes. Hopefully everybody's not doing anything tonight and they want to spend some time here. Susie Brown's in the house. Thank you, Susie. I'm going to be showing the ultimate mesh roller tonight. Several ways I'm going to use it, or actually two ways. So yay. Dun, dun, dun. Oop. Let me get some pins really quick. Oh no, if I do that I might knock the camera. Whoa. Oops, wrong direction. Please don't fall, camera. There we go. Gosh, Susie, it might be you and me. That's okay. I know there's a bunch of people on tonight too. Oh my gosh. Sometimes these pins just don't want to go in. To get some bands from there. Well, I don't want to hold you up, Susie. So, I'm just going to start and hopefully somebody will also. But it'll be a private party. A lot of people like to watch the replay. It is a Monday night, school night. I thought I'd try going live tonight and see how it goes. So, let's get going. So this is the sign I'm going to use tonight. Welcome my pretties. Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz when the Wicked Witch of the West says, "Oh, my pretties." So we're going to put that on. I've already put the cable ties on the back. I've used these come in little squares. They're 1-inch square or fuse to just give it an extra adhesion to it. It is glued. It kind of, peel it off and you can just glue it that way, but I wanted a little bit more on there. And then I just take pipe cleaners and put them in each of the corners so I can attach it to the wreath. So that's going to be our sign tonight. And you guys are going to help me figure out the bow because I got a bunch of ribbon and I want you guys to help me with that. So this is going to be our wreath that we're going to use tonight. This came from Craft Outlet. So if you guys, you can get, whatever you want to use for a wreath. If you want like this is more three-dimensional type of a wreath. So it's pretty, you can't see me? Uh-oh, hold on. Oh, let me shut this one off because you guys are up on my other one. Hold on, because you guys are on this one and for some reason they didn't pick up the two links together. I may not be able to see comments. Uh-oh. Malfunction. Hold on. There we go. Now I found you. I hope. Hold on. There we go. Now I found you. Okay, so that's what happened. There were two different links going on, two different lives on me. They saw me here, but you guys didn't see me there. But we got it all straightened out. So that's what happened. There were two different links, two different lives. I'm so high tech. I know. I'm like the least savvy person with all this stuff. So this is going to be the wreath that we're going to use to make it today. And so this does have 16 loops, so which I like the forms. Ooh, I got to turn my volume off. Let me turn the volume off here so I don't hear myself. If you have odd numbers, when you go to put your, your ties in, then you have two of the same next to each other, and it drives me crazy when that happens. So I like it when it's even numbers. So I have 8 in here, and I believe there's 10 on the outside. So this is cool. So this is going to be our wreath form. Now, can you get candy corns? So I'm going to use the orange on the outside. I know this is really rattly. This one came from Joann Fabrics, but you can find them anywhere. This on the inside, this on the outside. Just something different. Or I can reverse it. If you guys think I should reverse it. I did, Susie. I muted it. So let me. So I've already pre-cut some, but we're going to cut some more together. My ribbon tails today, I have some candy corn mixed with some yellow bold stripe, which I thought would be kind of cool because on the orange I thought it would stand out a little bit. But of course I still have to have orange, and I still have to have my pumpkins. Dun, dun, dun. So I thought those would be two kind of cool colors to mix in with this today. It picks up on the orange and the black in there because the sign is orange and black. And I just, with the candy corn idea of the mesh, I just thought the yellow just to give it some little different. I mean, I could have put purple or lime green. I have those colors too. But, so, whoops. Oops. The ultimate mesh holder, ribbon roller. See, I have it set up because we'll cut as we go, because I didn't cut all my mesh because I wanted to show you how I did it, because I lined 2 of them up together so that I can cut them all at the same time. So what's great is that this has the 3 tiers on it, so I can do that. I know this is on an angle. There we go. And it has a ruler, it has a little gap here. The board sits on it like that so that it keeps it, tight as you go. And of course I got my ribbon up top that you guys helped me pick. What we're going to do, we're going to start with this guys over here. And I thought, I don't know, the candy corn, little ghost, the witch, and you always get that ghost, some pumpkins on there. Okay. So I have some orange ones cut, and I have some of these cut. The candy corn. So let's get going. So on the, because there was one. But just use the Krafts method on it. Oops. Let me just make that a little bit even. There we go. And we're going to see how this goes. Here, just so that it's not, the raw edge really isn't showing. And I'm just going to crinkle it up. And the same on the other side. And we're going to stick this guy in here. Now I'm already seeing it's not really, I don't think it's going to be as full. We're going to double layer this baby. I'm going to get my bow dabber out here. Oops, my glasses are falling. So I'm going to stick this guy in here because he's already crinkled. I'm going to lay this color underneath. Using white and yellow. But kind of went, I really wanted that on this because I also have white and I do have yellow as well. So I like creating things as we go. See how this looks. I think it might be just because of the wreath form might be taken up somewhat. Oh, but that's not bad. Let's put a couple in. I can always change it. So how is everybody tonight? I know it's a school night, but it's been raining here. And we have our little flag football league going. again, since Florence is gone. And of course, we're probably going to get rained out from practice tomorrow night. But it'll be cool. Hello, Christina. Hello, Catherine. Thank you. Is it Felita? Felita? That's a pretty name. Oops. What's good about having the stripes in this, you can kind of keep an eye of stains. It's kind of neat. So this kind of creates a double kind of bow tie on here. And all I'm doing here is just twisting it once. And then I'm foo-fooing it out. Well, that's kind of pretty. What do you guys think? I think that's kind of cool. Looks like a butterfly. Oops. Oh, I'm not meshed in there. I swear, I don't have a big enough table. These at once. Oh, I know, Susie, you're on. Would you like to type in my... So what we're going to do is make a couple of these. We're going to stack them in here because that way it'll go a little faster. Oops. Why is... When you do the mesh sometimes, no matter how you cut it, there's always a part that likes to come out longer than the rest. I never get that part. But that's okay. That's why we have cutters. Ooh, I have to show you the wreath behind me. I almost forgot. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I have these hanging by a hanger behind me, so that's why they're on an angle. So I have to show you this one. Oops. I thought this was like really pretty because the colors in here, it's not to say like a copper, it's like an orange, like a deep orange, the glitter on here. So when I made it, I have these little sparkly beaded pumpkins in here, and of course, hopefully you guys can see that, all the like glitter on there. It has like dark brown with the orange, the deep orange, and of course picking up the orange colors in here in the ribbon. This is a double layer ribbon. They're both of these ribbons are wired, but this is like a silk ribbon, and I decided to layer it on top just to give it, instead of it seeing all the checkered, just to give it a little bit of color. And of course I got the fall leaves in here and the colors that pick up out of the sign. So I have an orange pumpkin. This one's like a dark brown sparkly pumpkin. So you can find this on my Etsy page if you want to get that baby. And I'm sure you guys could probably see I have a bunch of candy canes back here. I did a live the other night and I made, ooh, which ones can you see? Let me go this way. I did this one off afterwards. This green and white one, kind of like a real peppermint color flavor. You know, the green, the white, the red. So, oops, can I take that off? Oops, as they all fall. Let me take it off this way. There we go. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, instead of just doing the red and white, see how I did my little hangers to hang up in my fireplace. And red, and I decided to do one of these because these are pretty. Oh, I froze. Going back up there. Oops, let me hang you up higher. There you go. So those guys are in my Etsy shop. Hi, Lynn. Where did you get the orange pine leaves? Are you talking this? The pine leaves. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Thank you, Susie. Kathy in Colorado, yay! Hey, if you guys want to get alerts from me, just type alert in the comments, and then I can send you every time when I'm going to go ahead and do a live. And that way you'll get notification for that. If you're talking about the twist ties, Lynn, these came on the wreath. You can buy them. There's all different types. Like I have it in white. They have them in green, red, purple. You can also, and this came from Craft Outlet. You have ones like these. These are thinner green ones. So sometimes what I do, I bought like a thing like this, so I can cut off to add, you know, more ties on these, or if I want to use it on a, you know, a plain wreath like these, so I can make whatever I want. If I didn't want to use pipe cleaners, this is kind of a neat thing. It's still, you know, it's kind of pretty on it than the pipe cleaners. So let's get back to making some of this, baby. And if you guys have any questions, please. I'm trying to be really diligent about looking. I should put my glasses on to see. This baby up here, and like I said, I did not cut them all because I want to do that with you guys. Got one on the floor over there, and hopefully you can see everything. The edges sometimes, so they're not sticking out, and it just gives it a little bit more finished. Edging to it as I'm doing the roll, and I just crinkle it down because that's just kind of the natural way that it's going to go, and it makes it a bit easier. Look pretty. Look at that. Just that alone looks pretty. They like to use their fingers and they try to hold it. Where did you get the holder for the rolls? This baby, if you're talking about this one, this is the ultimate mesh holder. This comes from Susie's Wreaths, and it's on the Etsy shop, and what I'll do is I'll post in the comments. This comes off. Can you guys see that? Let me move it over because I'm seeing my delay here and it's not showing you very well. So they each have, there's 3 tiers to it. 1, 2, 3. And you just pull it off. You slide on whatever you want to slide, whether it's your ribbon, your mesh. You can put a couple of these. You can put a 21-inch on here. Susie's Wreaths, they also have the gift wrapping one. They have a single one if you want that. This is the collapsible one. You can see here if I wanted to collapse, which is what I really like. I just unhook these, and these sides will collapse down, and there's a little latch here so I can lock it. So I love my mesh holder. Little guys are falling on the floor. Hi, Melanie. How are you? The holder that you slip the rolls. Oh, that one too. Oop, all my tails are gonna fall. This you can get at you know, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann Fabrics. It comes with this little guy. So like if you want to, you know, if you're doing a lot of these, you want to push it down a little bit so you can get more in there, you can do that. My tendency though when I do that is that I forget to take it out, especially if I'm making a bow, and then I go to get my bow and I realize I left this in there. So I'll use it sometimes if I want to, you know, push down a little bit so I can add more, but I usually take it out because of that reason. But that's all that it is. It's called the Bowdabra, and you can get that at any craft store. You use, you know, your coupons. Do you teach class? I actually live in Springfield, Lynn, but I can teach anywhere. Just posted for me my link. If you look under Susie Brown right now, you'll see my link for the mesh roller that I just showed you. And I'll tell you what, it is worth it. Worth it, worth it, worth it, worth it. Things I bought when I started has been, and she's a really nice lady. I've talked to her on the phone, we message and stuff like that. She's really sweet. Hi Donna, how are you? And again, if anybody wants to receive alerts of when I go live, just go ahead and type the word live in the bottom, alert in the bottom, excuse me. Messages when I'm going live. I love to have people. I wish you guys could talk to me. I feel like, you know, I always just talk to myself. Because I probably do that all the time now. Alright. So we got a couple of these babies made. So let's put them in. Dun, dun, dun. Just one twist. And then you fluff it out. I want the orange on the bottom. My pretty little butterflies. I usually try to pull all my things up first. These things, sometimes they get messed around in there and then you can't find them. And you go, where did it go? And that's how you wind up skipping one. I think this is going to be pretty. Oh, Michelle, you are talking. Yes, we are talking on the video. Oh, Susie, because it'd be something that would be really, you could actually do like a live chat, you know, but you know, you do all these things, like Zoom has it where you can talk to the people and you have the teacher off to the side and stuff like that. And you can chat with each other. You can see everybody like in a gallery. And that to me would just be cool. I mean, it's nice because you can, you know, you can bring one person in with you and chat. But, you know, then you got your whole, everybody else here just like rolling the comments along. You're going, I missed that. Okay. Michelle, you need help with wide ribbon, 7.5 inch wide. I have not. The most I've made is 4 inches wide. And do I have any of that? I know I do. I'm not sure if I have any close to me. I don't. I can show you some, I'm going to show you one technique tonight that you can use, as well as maybe another one. One's called the Lisa bow, and one's just a regular bow. You can use this or the easy bow with. So I'll show you both ways that might help you make the bow with that 7.5 inch wide, okay? So just let me get a little further along on this, and when we get to the bow part, I can give you the idea for that. Thank you, Catherine. Let me go on the other side because one of my things fell. My candy corn. I knew I cut enough just to go the first round, almost the first round, but I was like, guys, make it more. Cut some together because I'm going to show you how this ultimate mesh roller works. Okay, so I'm going to put this baby. Yeah, no problem, Michelle. No problem. All right. I'm going to move these little guys out of here. I'm going to stick them over here because they keep falling. And I'm going to move my ribbon tails as well so that they don't fall. All right. So, I don't know if I can move this in closer. Well, you guys can kind of see it there. So what I do, I take because I'm using 2 colors, and this will make your cutting go a little faster instead of doing one color and one color. Some people may drop it on the floor, but then the thing, it gets all over the place. So by having the ultimate mesh roller, you don't have to worry about your mesh, your ribbon, or whatever just rolling across the floor, and then you're chasing it, or your cat, or especially going after it. I don't have a cat now, but I did. So I even them both up so that when I pull them out, I can pull them both out evenly. Okay? Now I cut these at 15 inches. So 5, 10, 15. So see, I can cut 2 at one time. Voila. Easy peasy. Oh, a good idea if I put my blade out. And see, I think I'm going to need a new blade soon. I got to get the top of the mud. Hi, Janet from Ohio. Woohoo! I used to live in Illinois. We were, my husband was military, and we actually went over to Ohio, my girls, and I used to coach a gymnastic team at the, where was that? The Beulah YMCA. Whoops. And we used to compete nationally, and we went over to Ohio a couple of times. I think it was, I can't remember if it was in Cleveland or not. And I loved it. I've been back there when Dresden longer burger baskets I used to do. We went back for those. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting. I have a tendency to cut too many. But we need a lot. Sorry you laugh. Gotta get that top of the mouth. Hey, Michelle, I laugh at myself all the time. Whoop. Oh. Okay, I'm going to put these down here because they're all going to fall off and then I'll have to disappear again. Alrighty, so let's cut some babies. I wish I could play music. I don't think you want to hear me sing. Oh, my thing's coming untied here. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Do you like me talking to myself? It's NuttyKrafts, okay? So, like this past Sunday, yesterday, they had the professional bull riding here where I live. And I love watching it. I record it. I like it. It's one of those things. Will I ever do it? No. But 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got 8, so let's see where 8 takes me. And I went with a friend, and I'll tell you what, when my boy, JB Mooney, I know you guys may not follow the PBR bull riding, but he came out, he only lasted like 2-point-something seconds. But I was like, oh, a kid in a candy store. That's all I can say. Hi, Mary. How are you? Thank you. Alright, so back to the Bodabra. Let me roll these babies up a little bit because they don't get in my way. So again, I cut the mesh at 15 inches long, and I'm just doing the Orful method. I cup in the bottom a little bit just because I don't like the edges coming out. And it also just depends on the mesh that you're using. Some of it's really thick at times, so you don't need to worry about it, you know, fraying or anything. But because mesh is going to fray, there's no doubt about that. But it is what it is, so I just try to make it a little bit neater. And I should have done my orange one first. So my little Bodabra is my second little hands there. Proud mama. I am a proud mama. I have 3 kids. I have twins, and I'm not going to say their age. And both my twins each have a girl. I have one granddaughter that's 7 and one that's 3.5. And I get to watch the 3.5-year-old. The other grandmother for my other granddaughter got to watch her because they live like 4 hours away. And I used to help out watch her, like when the other grandmother went on her vacations. I would go out there and I'd spend like 10 days, you know, or so out there because I took all my vacation time and just made it like, you know, a 10-day vacation. And I would go out there and just spend time watching her. And now the other one that's here, the 3.5-year-old, I get to watch her. Like last week I had her 5 times a week. This week her daddy's off, so her daddy gets to play with her for a week. So that should be fun. I got the frame, Donna. I got it from Craft Outlet. So, isn't it pretty? I like the orange. It's nice and thick, which is what I like about it too. You can get this at Michael Joann's Hobby Lobby, and it actually comes with this little guy. So when you put your, oops, I missed that, your bow in here or using your mesh, you can use this to hold it so that it doesn't come out. I have a tendency to forget to take it out, so I don't use it as much. If I'm doing a lot of these that I really want to crunch, you know, in there, I will go ahead and, you know, use that to crunch some of it down in the middle for that reason. Oh yeah, you got 2 of those, Joanne, from Joann's? They're great. Now I also have clothespins too. keep on doing a bunch of ruffles or whatever I'm doing, I will take out my clothespins too. And I'll just, you know, clothespin it in the middle here, just like that does. Oops. The frame from oh, you got 2 of the frames. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. I've used other colors. I was trying to look through it's hanging up. But I don't have any. I think I showed the white one earlier. See, I have the white one. And this is really pretty, like with snowmen or for the Christmas season. You can use it for Valentine's. But they have them in red, green, purple, like lime green. Of course, you know, like your dark greens. You can choose whatever. And just make sure if you're going to buy one, they'll have, you know, how many ties are on it. I like it as even numbers. This one here, Hobby Lobby, odd numbers. You know, what happens is that when you put 2 of your, you know, ribbon tails together, you're going to have 2 of the same together. So I bought some extra of this so that I can add an extra tie in there, so that I'll be, you know, to even numbers. In case you're wondering where I'm throwing them all, it's on my bed. Thank you. We don't have a craft outlet here. Have to go online. You know, Donna, a lot of places do. It just all depends. Even though I'm lucky in a way, I have Joanne Fabrics in north and south of me, about a half an hour away. Say I have one Hobby Lobby that's about a half an hour away, one that's like 10 minutes down the road, and I have another one that's like about a half an hour away. So I'm good with, you know, having some craft stores locally by, which is kind of cool. A lot of people I hear, you know, they have to drive like, you know, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know. I'm like, good God. But I do order some things online too, because like these, I can't find this type, you know, in any of the stores. So, and some meshes I like, because, you know, you may not be able to find the mesh in the store. So decoexchange.com is another place I order. I get some mesh from, I'll get some ribbon from him. He's actually one of my business coach, or my business coach. And I don't know if you saw earlier, on another live, if you look at my live that I did, end up behind me, and because we're in a group, and he teaches you that, and you know, he does review that, but I like Damien. I mean, I like him personally, and I had everybody's name behind me, because I could say we got to come up with a name for our groups, because we're all out there, you know, we're crafty, you know, out there with their hair. So that's kind of what we named ourselves. Let's see. That made me jealous. I don't have that color. Oh, the orange one, Michelle? Are you talking about the orange? I know, it's really pretty. It's a bright orange, too. So you can use it for the fall. It doesn't have to be for a Halloween wreath or frame. You can use it for whatever. Donna, you live near Houston? You know, I've always wanted to go to Texas. My son was stationed down there for 4 years, and I never got a chance to go down there. See how I can push this down? Now, I'll probably forget that I have an in there. I better take it out before I forget. Oh, the white ones? Yeah. It's pretty. It's pretty. I mean, you can get the plain frames with no, you know, none of the cleaners on them, so to speak, or the twist ties rather. And you can use, you know, like I use a lot, you know, the plain ones, and I'll do them with, you know, the pipe cleaners. I call them pipe cleaners. People call them shit out stems sometimes. So I'm used to pipe cleaners. But, you know, this particular one, I like it with this. I may add some more in here. We'll see how this goes. Where do I live? We're about a half an hour south, because you're so close to Washington. And we're not, you know, we're in a suburban area. So it's not like we're in the country. Oops. Got those stuck together there. It's gonna turn out. Okay, so if the broadcast keeps stopping or it says interrupted, just wait it out and it will come back. I have nothing to do with that. That's Facebook. And there's nothing I can come back in, but just get out. But I can't do anything about that. Oops, let me pull up my stem. So look how pretty that's coming out. Sign to put on here. Oops. So if I don't pull these out, then I'm going to get lost and I'm going to skip one. And then you have to go back. That's okay. No problem. Whoops. Did I do that right? Yeah. Da-da-da. Tell me you've never had candy corn. Now, I'm used to this color, the white with the orange and the yellow. And I think they come out with different colors. I just can't do that. I can't do a different color. One thing, and then when they change it, like M&Ms keep adding different layers. And although, or different types of M&Ms. Stick with my peanut M&Ms. I like my peanut M&Ms. You can go on Nonnas. I have an Etsy shop. And you can go on Etsy, www.Krafts, all one word, and the word Krafts is with a capital, with a K, not a C. And I have a bunch. I also do custom ones. If you need something like that, this will be after I finish the live. What I'll do is post just a generic picture, and I'll just put candy corn wreath. So if you want it, then you can get it if you want it. And if you guys want to just type the word alert in the comment section, and you will get it from Rosie. Rosie's my little messenger person, and she comes from, now I'm going to tell my age for sure. Back in the day, I used to watch Mermaid. So I have Rosie on mine who will answer or get, and she will also give you the messages. Do I have another orange one on the floor? Yep. There you go. How are you doing? And I think with the sign in there, it's going to be cool. And then we'll put it, since that's what you guys get tonight. I chose some color. Hey, just let me know. Because I have lots of ribbons. Because you know everybody that does these are ribbon-holics. They should have a ribbon-holic place that we need to go to. Ribbons and crafts. It's like going to this candy store. You go in and you see something and you go, I like that. I know I can do, you know. And then you buy everything for it. Oh, just laying there. And, you know, you get home and you're like, all excited to make. Like, I was really excited to make this one because it's just something different. See? This is the mesh. Alright. Let's see where we are. Don't want to miss any. So, I know you guys can't maybe see, so maybe I'll do it this way. I'm putting it in here, and I'm just twist tying it like that. And then when I go back and I kind of fluff it out a little bit. That's all I'm doing. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'm looking in my camera, but it's an 8-second delay here, so there we go. So I open up the tie, take my mesh, stick it in there, and just twist it around, and then I go back and I fluff it. Fluff it, not stuff it. And that's all I'm doing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Do you have? I don't have a soldering iron. Now there's different ways you can do it. There is, it's like a heated tool, if you want to call it that, or iron. So when you cut the mesh, it actually, I'll use the word burns the edge, but that's not probably the correct terminology, so that it doesn't fray. And a lot of people do that. I just don't do that because I'm afraid, because it being like the mesh, what it's made out of, then I'm afraid I'm just going to set everything on fire. I've heard of people using lighters to seal the edges. They'll like heat up their blade and then they cut it and it kind of melts the edges that way too. Sing it, girl. What do you want me to sing? I do like to sing, mind you. But I'm afraid y'all would turn off the video. I don't know any Halloween songs. Are there any? Oh, Monster Mash is probably the Halloween song that everybody knows. The Monster Mash. God, I really wish I had some music back here. Okay, so we need to cut some more. So let's get some. And I think I said 5 more. So we're going to cut 4 in case I miscounted. So again, my Ultimate Mesh Roller by Susie's Wreaths. 3 tiers. Put the ribbon. I got ribbon up here. You can see. 3 tiers. I have 2 single rows because I'm cutting these at the same time to save time. Instead of just cutting one roll, you know, one piece at a time. This way I could do both mine at the same time. So we're going to cut 4 because I think I said 5, but I don't want to overcut because I do have a tendency to do that. And I'm cutting these at 15 inches each. Sing it. Nope, I want. Cute. Okay, so if you look further up in my comments, the Ultimate Mesh Roller, there is a link. Susie Brown actually posted it for me, my link for me, and you will see it. Please go there. I will tell you, this was the first product of anything that I bought was the Ultimate Mesh Roller, and I actually have 2. And but I use this one the most. I don't know why, because on the other side I have my ribbon holder, which we'll get to. But I can't tell you, this is just, it's a lifesaver having your ribbon like this, your mesh like this, or even your ribbon, because I'll show you how we'll use it with the ribbon as well. Instead of having everything just rolling across the floor. Or, you know, how you're in the middle of something and it goes rolling off on the floor and you're like, oh, now I have to get up. You know how that goes? All right. So let's see if I got enough this time. Put these guys on the floor so they don't go flying off the table. Whoop. Thank you, Susie. Hi, Christina. Christina's one of my Powder Puff girls. All right. So I started to tell that story, I think, earlier. Powder Puffs. I'm not a professional football player by far. If anybody ever told you, I don't even watch football on TV. I will go to a game, but I'm not a person that sits there all the time. My husband loves it. I will go to the games with him or friends or anybody else, and I'll be like, what are they doing? Okay, is that the Hail Mary pass? I don't know what a blitz is. I don't know what do they call it, a flea flicker or something? I don't know what all those are. Hey, Nancy. We're up together. Hi. So anyway, Christina, who's on there, Christina A. She's so cool. She's Hawaiian, and sorry. And we're doing it for domestic, 1 game, and we're gonna go out there, and it's on the military base of Fort Belvoir, and it was supposed to be the week when Hurricane Florence came around, so it got postponed until October 17th. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna represent the women, or men, or children, to let them know that there are people out there that can help you. Nancy, we grew up next door to each other. You know, thanks to before Facebook came into being, you know, you always had I'm a few years older than Nancy, so I was the one there were 4 of us that really hung out together. I was kind of, and then across the street was Jody. But I was the one that went off to, you know, college before all of them. And, you know, you kind of lose I married a military guy. Travel around. So you lose that you grew up with sometimes. So I thank Facebook for coming out with their thing, because I've been able to reconnect with those people that I've lost track of over time. So I'm glad you're on, Nancy. Thanks, Christina. I like them too. They're kind of nice and bright. It's candy corn season. Oops, this one. Dun, dun, dun. So again, I'm just doing the ruffle method. I'm just curling it under a little bit the edge, so when I crinkle it in. And I'm doing the same on the other side as well. And on this bow dabber, you can get this little guy comes with it. So you can push it down so you can add more. I got to take them out, like I've said before, because I have a tendency to leave it in there. And then I put more, and especially when I'm doing bows, and I'm like, you have to take half your bow apart. Oh my gosh. Quest in Philly? I was in Philly. Like I said, my girls did gymnastics when we were in Ohio. I was a gymnastic coach for almost 20 years. I was a USA judge. I was a high school coach. So we actually would go up to different parts of the USA with our national team. And we got to see places that I probably would never have seen. You know how that thing is, you grow up in the state and you kind of never leave it. So I'm glad I met my husband, because I've seen a lot over the years. I don't know, like 16 years, I guess. I just retired from my job earlier this year, July. I did retail on and off for 34 years, as well as doing the coaching job and being a coach and a judge. My girls competed in doing gymnastics, and I worked at the gyms to help cut the costs, because when you travel and you're on teams, you know, it gets expensive. Now, I know I didn't talk to you about, I told you I had twin girls. I also have a son. He's a couple of years younger than my daughters. And he was in the military for 6 years. 6 years? 5 years? Something like that. Maybe even 4. I lose count. And he got out a little over a year ago. And he lives a little further south of us with his girlfriend. So he's close by. Oops. Da-da-da. Almost done. See, I cut 4, and I said 5. That's because I probably didn't count the one that was in my hand that I still had. See? I'm glad I only cut 4. Always miscount. Well, get in there. Last one. Me meant cookie what? You're a coolie lady. Wreath by Busy Bee are all on at the same time. Yes, there's a bunch of us on tonight. The cookie lady, yes. Becky, she's really nice. I've known her for quite some time now. She lives up there in Michigan. So, cool. Look at that baby. Nice and bright orange. Alright, so now you guys got to help me pick out bows after I do my ribbon tails. And we got to decide if I should put this on an angle in the middle with the big bow. I like how to think on an angle because the broom going up. But you guys are going to help me decide that. So, I cut some ribbon tails. So, whoops. This is what I chose. I have the orange with the pumpkins. And the one thing, when you see a pattern like this, see they're all going the same way, when you put them on, you don't want to have some going this way and some going this way. So just be careful of even some things with words on them as well. The other one I picked out is this, the candy corn with the yellow. So this is 2.5, these are 1.5 inches. So we're going to put these guys on. And I'm going to alternate. The tails, You can cut them longer. Some people cut 14, 13, or 12. It really depends what you want to do. I sometimes like them at 12. It depends on the wreath I'm kind of doing, because I want the mesh to come through. But I still do them at 14 as too. But these are at 12. Half, kind of crease it here. And I'm going to take it, just crinkle it up. Bend it back a little bit. And I'm going to stick it in. I start on the bottom ones. You could start on the top ones if you want to. It's your preference. There's no right or wrong. And I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see. And you don't want to spread it out like this, so it looks like a big X, because that just doesn't make sense. You want it so it kind of fans down this way. So it's, I kind of say like a half of an X. And you just want to bend it, you know, bend your ribbon back enough like this, because you don't want it sticking straight up like that, because it looks kind of funny. So you want to bend it back, which kind of forms around your mesh. So that's that one. Now I'm going to alternate these. Oops. Why do I keep getting caught on? Let me move that back a little. There we go. So usually what I do is I usually will stack them like this, so that I don't get mixed up and put two of them together the same. You don't have to do that. It's your choice what you want to do. And you see I've already laid my pumpkins all the same way. The candy corns, it doesn't matter which way you do it. Whoops. But like I said, just make sure when you're putting it, you know, on your wreath, that everything's facing the same way if it is a pattern like that. There we go. Alright, so pumpkins it is. So again, fold it in half. Just bend it there, and that's just so when you put it in the tie, you're halfway through. You don't have one side longer than the other. You can bend it back, and you just put it in your tie. And again, I twist tie it once around. Now, if I know I'm not going to do anything more, oops, it's opposite. I will go ahead, not on this particular wreath. If I'm going to, I may do tubing in here, which you guys can help me decide. I have some orange and white tubing, but if these I can leave like this. When you're using like the pipe cleaners on them, what I'll do at the end is I'll curl these down, because these are a little bit sharp at the edge. And I don't want anybody to get hurt, so I'll curl them down if I'm not doing anything with them. So what do you guys think? You guys like that? I think it's pretty. Hey or nay, thumbs up. And again, if you guys, oops, I missed one. Tailing these. So what you do with these, I missed this whole one. See, my edges are not ducktailed. So this one I can fold it together, fold it in half, make sure the side, they're even. And I'm just going to cut it on an angle, so you get these little pointy. The deeper you go on your angle though, it has a tendency the ribbon will curl. So just make sure that you don't go too much. Oh, thanks, Michelle. You like it? I think it's kind of cute. I think with the black in here, it just really makes the back of the, you know, I wasn't sure about the orange ribbon, how that would stand out, actually, oops. And, but I really, the orange and the yellow, rather, you know, they kind of really pop it out. And with the black, I think that really makes it just pop, makes it stand out. Make sure my pumpkins are right side up. Thank you, Christina. In the back. There's my twist ties. Now, some people will open their ties all the way and put it directly on top of the mesh. I like to make sure that my mesh is in there, so I will leave it with just like one tie, you know, twist on it, and then I won't open it up all the way or anything, just wherever I've left it from the tie, then I'll go ahead and put my tail in there. Ooh, I'm getting to like this. I wasn't really sure. You know how you think things in your brain and then you go ahead and do it and it's like, ooh. Like I have a wreath that's sitting over there and I made it probably like a month ago. And it's one of those things you keep looking at it like it needs something, but you can't push your finger on it. And I finally have decided that I'm just going to redo it because I'm just not happy with it. And I think that's what it is. I use some ribbon that I wasn't quite sure I liked, and it's just like, oh. I'm on my Instagram page. Is the 3 wreaths I made already? So Michelle, you make wreaths too? That's cool. I like making them. You know, it's one of those things, you pick a craft. Like I used to do a lot of craft shows when my kids were younger. And being in the military was just an extra way, you know, I say the word to make money if you want to call it that. And I do woodworking, I paint on wood. I'll do refinishing wood. I can sew, can make wreaths, do a little of everything. Hey Barb! And I just like making wreaths. Of course it's a big project, you know, when you make one, because then they start monopolizing space in your house. It's not something you can put in a drawer somewhere. But I like them. I really do. I like making them. You could be really creative. It's like being an artist too. Look at that. What do you guys think? I think that's coming out kind of cool. I'm showing my pumpkin the right side up. You could have an upside down pumpkin. Well, Michelle, now that I've retired fully, I'm home. Well, I'm home almost every day. I keep myself occupied. But I like doing these. I do enjoy it. It's fun. And I like it when, you know, somebody asks me to do a custom wreath. I like doing that because those you get to be, I mean, every wreath is being creative. But what I'll do is I'll give my customers some choices. You know, to kind of get a feel of what they really want. Because, you know, when somebody says, hey, can you make me, you know, a candy corn wreath or a Halloween wreath? And you're like, sure. And you do it in purple and green and they really want it orange and black. You're like, whoops. So that's why I like to be, you know, oh, here's another one I missed. I missed these. Goodness gracious. Alright, so we're coming around. And again, because I have even numbers around here, so I'm not going to have two of these tails next to each other. Get in there, baby. There we go. Oops. Now, when I do spread these out, something I don't think I mentioned is I do them opposites. You don't want all the orange on the bottom and the thing on top. You could do it that way if you want to. I like it opposite because it just gives it more color than everything on one way. You know, like if I did this with all the yellow and orange on the bottom, you'd probably go crazy. Or putting all the black ones on the bottom, you may just see all black. And I don't like that. Thank you, Susie. I think it's coming out cool. It's a lot of fun. And when I do spread out these bows, whoops, opposites. If you notice, like I'll do black up here and then I'll bring the orange one up on this side because I don't want the black next to the black or the orange next to the yellow in that sense of saying. So again, it's being opposites. All right, so bottom row is done. Woohoo! Opposites attract, that's right. I always say, it's funny, you know, when you get married, you know, everybody uses all the, you know, the signs that everybody is, like if you're Capricorn or whatever. Like I'm a Capricorn, my husband's a Leo. And it's funny, or Libra, yeah, is that my mom was a Capricorn and my dad was a Libra. Go for you. So it's funny that I'm married. Never thought of it that way. And we kind of do attract, you know, opposite, you know, we're both stubborn. my girls would agree with that. Alright, so there's that one. Again, make sure your pumpkins are facing the same way. And of course, you know I'm going to say that, and I'm probably going to do one upside down. It's okay. I could take it out and fix it. Oh, oh. Somebody got caught here. Oh. There we go. Yay. Oops. Dun, dun, dun. So if you guys want to get alerts from me when I go live, go ahead and put a live alert in the bottom in the comments, and you'll get alerts when I go and make my wreaths. Or if I choose to make something crazy, because I do that. Get up. Now, why is this one not bending back? There we go. Dun, dun, dun. I only got a few more, and then it's on to bow time. And Michelle, I have not forgotten, if you're still on how to do that. I will show you 2 ways to make a bow. Whoops. Look what I did. Twisted my guy upside down and backwards. Bend him back, and that's what helps. Untie. Dun, dun, dun. And you can go back and fix these. I like to go back once I get everything on it, and I'll go back maybe before I put my sign on at times, and I'll go fix some of my tails, because as you're moving around, everything gets crazy. Making salmon. You know, it's funny, Michelle, I had that last night for dinner. When I came home from the PBR. And Saturday, my husband and I, our anniversary was in June, and we were doing some work on the outside of our house. For the last couple of years, we seem to be doing a lot of work on our house. And we put, we had to have new siding put in because, let's say I didn't cut all these so I can do this with you. We had bad weather in the spring, and it ripped off some of our siding on the side of the house. The house is 40 years old, and the siding was what they call aluminum, which they don't make anymore. So they make it vinyl. Didn't know that. I didn't know that. My husband probably knew, because he's an engineer. That's what I need, 1 more of each. So we had to have new siding put on. Then we decided to rip up the entire lawn and put sod down. So see, I cut extra because I was at the end of my roll. I saved some so I could use it in the bow. So these are cut at 12 inches each. So I need 2 more, so 1 more of each. So I'm going to show you when I do the bow how I use the mesh roller. What I'm using here, let me move it, is a ribbon holder. It has 3 pegs. You can see I put my ribbon on it. And I'm going to show you how I cut my ribbon off of the ultimate mesh roller. So this is just another way of holding the ribbon on here. And I'm going to move some of these gadgets off to the side because I'm going to need these later. I don't need this. So I'm going to move this, see where you are in my camera here so you can see how I use the roller. Okay, you can see it. So I'm just going to pull it off and I measure it. Now the one thing with this is that you can only do like 1 ribbon at a time. Some people might go ahead and you could probably do it like this if you wanted to. I don't like it that way. just because I'm afraid one's going to be a lot longer than the other. Then I'm not going to do it right. I got to push this back a little bit because it's awkward for me. It's too close. So this one here. Now if you want the bow holder, get that on Amazon. And it's just a ribbon holder. That's all it is. New pumpkins. Hi, Billy. How are you? Stick that over there. So this is why the ultimate brush roller is good at hand. Or you can use the other, because if you leave this rolling around, now if it's not like this, sometimes you do it and it'll drop on the floor. But it just kind of is in your way. So that's why I like using the mesh roller. Alright, so I'm going to take my two pieces, and this is what we call ducktailing. Put them together. And you're going to cut it. My biggest thing I have to watch, because I put the scissors sometimes too close, because I use my finger as a guideline. And I'll cut my finger before. Alright, so ducktail this baby. Again, if you want to get alerts, just type the word alert in the comments, and I will send you the next time I go on a feed. And if you want the ultimate mesh roller, it is in my comments. Just scroll up a little bit, and you will see the link for that. I should tell you where I got the ribbon from. This came from Mary's Wreaths. No, wait, this is Deco Exchange. This is Deco Exchange. He got a bunch of them in. I don't know if he still has them in, but you can go to decoexchange.com if you want any of those. I forgot which ones I had with which. Candy corn. Alright, so we needed 2 of each. Put you guys over there. Come back my candy corn wreath. Now, if you're looking for one of these colors, these rotary colors, this is a Fiska, Joanne, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, and you can get these at any Walmart, you know, if you want to. I like this style. I do have one, the blade is not retractable, and what I've learned over the years is that, you know, I go to grab it, and I grab, you know, you're not paying attention, you put it down, you grab it, and you hit the blade. This one has a little switch, so the blade pops out, and you see this little button here, and then it just pops the blade in. And then you can just, you know, by taking this off, you can change the blade kind of easily. So, which is kind of cool. Alright, 2 more. Try to hurry and go as quick as I can. Don't catch me in the gingerbread man. God, I can't believe we're at the end of September already. Can you imagine? It's like Christmas is what? Like 2 months away? Dear the Lord. I told my husband the other day, why do these keep getting caught? I said, oh my gosh, I gotta get Christmas shopping. And he goes, I thought you said you were done. I said, no, I'm not. And then I went, oh. Because I always try to shop as early as I can, because I got my 2 granddaughters, my 3 kids, my 2 son-in-laws, my husband, my dad, you know, and it's just like the list goes on and on and on. And it can be crazy. Yeah, Walmart has, oh, they do have them cheaper there, Michelle? Good to know. It was funny because I bought one of these at Walmart, and I think I got the other one at Hobby Lobby. And because I was like, what was the price difference? And then I think Walmart was cheaper, and because I like purple. Purple's my color. So I kept the purple one, and I returned the other one for that reason alone. But they basically do the same thing. But the blades, yes, thank you, Michelle. That's good to know. I usually just shop around, you know, on some things. And if you got coupons, use your coupons. And some of the stores will take coupons from other competitors, so keep that in mind. All right, so there's my baby. So far, that is. So now we have to think of watch. So there's two types of bows that I usually make. I do have, where'd I put you? The Pro Bow at Hand, which makes a bow. I use this one for my Lisa bow and my regular bow, as well as you can use this one. The Pro Bow at Hand, you can get a Pro Bow the Hand, www.probowthehand.com. There is a bigger one, an ultimate one for this one. I don't know if I'll be making bows that big, but in case you guys haven't seen one of these, I will use my Pro Bow this evening since I'll be demonstrating. But I also have this baby called the Fluff Box. And I keep saying I'm going to decorate my fluff box. Right now, it has a lot of sparkles on it. So it is kind of decorated. And I'll show you how I use that. I'm going to put it back down here because it's going to get hooked on my ribbon. Okay, guys. This is where you guys get to help me. So you know what the wreath looks like, right? And we know this is going to be my sign. I think on an angle, like the witch's broom was flying up. So maybe a bow here. Okay, so what do you need? The Fluff Box or the Pro Bow at Hand, Michelle? So now the ribbon choices. Dun, dun, dun. And if you guys think I should use another color, tell me, because I have a lot of ribbon I can choose from. So this is what I was thinking. I kind of set this one up here. But, since we're done with the mesh, let me take the mesh off. So look how easy that is. Mesh is gone. This has these little holes down here. See how you can store the sticks for this, or rods. Just put my mesh on the floor there. Voila, I'm down to one rod. Oh, I'm stuck in my pliers, that's why I can go through. What happened there? There we go. Okay. Venus from North Texas. Woohoo! Somebody else is from Texas that was earlier. I have never been to Texas. Yes, angle the sign like it's flying. Thank you, Christina. I think I'm going to do that because that's, you know, you don't want a broom straight across. I think it should go like that. All right. So we know the colors are orange, white, and yellow. So I was thinking of these 5 ribbons with either on the very top one to put the candy corns or the pumpkins. So one of these two along with these. Or I can bring in my orange here. I have this, the yellow, which we had. Look at them, I'm stacking these in front. And one that I have too is what I thought was the witch's legs, which I think would be cool. Michelle's in Dallas, Texas, North Texas. I don't know what the difference between the two. If you guys are close to each other, you could be friends. So I was thinking the witch's legs, but it's kind of candy corny. But then I have the witch's thing. So what do you guys think? I know I love the witch's legs, Michelle. Isn't that kind of cool? And I do have witch's legs I could put on this, but I haven't decided. Well, one's yellow and orange. Orange and black feet. But I'm not sure if I want to use that one. I kind of don't like the shoes. Add the witch's leg for sure. Okay. So we got one for the witch's leg. We will put that baby on there. So now I do have purple. I have polka dots. I could add in there. Should I take this yellow one out and use the stripe one that I used in the wreath instead? I just thought that was a, let me take that off if you guys can't see it. Just a different texture to bring in, a different style. What do you guys think? Witch's legs are going in. They're going to be in there. Purple, yes? You think? I have purple like this. Kind of sparkly. Remove the solid yellow. So this is not a solid yellow. This is a stripe. And I have this stripe lateral. Should I take them both out? I know it kind of stuck out because everything seemed orange and black and the yellow, but I thought, oh, you're right, because you really can't see the yellow in there. So I don't think so either. So let's take this out. Whoops. Baby's gone. Do you guys like the polka dot and the black in there? I thought the black to offset on as the base, on it. The polka dots, the dots in there. Do you like the bigger stripes? Okay. You guys aren't going to see me. I'm going to be hiding behind this. You guys, should we leave purple? Yep. I also have this one. But I have no green in there. But if I'm bringing the witch's lights in, I could bring some green in there. What do you guys think of that? Parent, but it's really sparkly. The sign I got from Michael's. Yeah, Michael's. Ooh. 3 is the base. Do you guys? I don't think the stripe, the black. Because I think if I put that next as the witch's legs. So should we do 5? And candy corns or pumpkins? Some of the witch's legs have polka dots. So these, ooh, put one more in the end. What color do you think I should put on the end? The multicolored polka dot. Put that one in here. Whoops. Or here. Maybe here, because this is so much white next to each other. Maybe do the polka dot here, do the witch's legs. Maybe the orange on top. This will give it a little sparkle. What do you guys think about? What do you guys? I think that might be, because these polka dots do have the purple in it. Yes. So this is the way we're going to go. Right like that. We have a winner, chicken dinner. I don't know how that goes, but winner, chicken dinner? I don't know. Let's use my little ribbon holder. I had a plaid too, which goes really well with this. Look at the fabric of all these. This is more of a fabric. And I just thought it might be too heavy. I mean, I thought I could do it here maybe. Do you guys like the plaid? I like this. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. All right. That one's going to unravel. These are all going to unravel on me. You guys, see? This is called, we may not be able to talk to each other verbally, but we can interact this way. So this is an interactive game. All right, Michelle. So watch. All right. So my base one's going to be the black one. And what I'm going to do, okay, I can leave it up this high. Usually I bring it down lower. So this one I got from Deco Extension. I think came from Hobby Lobby. And this little, you can't see, can you? Deco Exchange, Mary's Wreaths, Hobby Lobby. Is either Joanne Fabrics or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. Maybe Michael's. I shop at all those stores and I forget. I started to Yeah, this is Mary Wreaths. I started to write on the side because since I buy my things from all over, that way I don't forget. Use the plaid hot harvest for harvest. Yeah, I think the plaid would be more for a harvest one than this one. Homebound. So just checked on Michael's for the sign, but I don't ship and I am homebound. Ah, Eileen, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they had 2 different style signs. If you go on my Etsy page, there were 2 different styles, and I used a different one. I did another Halloween wreath. It said a little something different, like the witch is out, she'll be back, I think was the other one. Check sometimes in their clearance section because online, because sometimes if they're getting rid of stuff for the, you know, because the season's getting towards the end, they may go ahead and clearance them out and put them on there, and they might be able to get it. Okay, so again, I don't like my ribbon rolling all across the floor. So just like I did with the mesh, I bought it through the bottom. So now I have to decide what my ribbons. Thank you, Catherine. Catherine put my Etsy shop down there. You can go down there. You can see my other Halloween wreath with the other witch's sign. It's very similar to that, but it has a different saying. Hi, Venus. In the bottom in the comments, and I can send you a notice when you get all right, so my first thing is I'm going to make the Lisa bow is the first one I'm going to show you how to make, because that's the one I like the best, and then I think will fit. I was going to show you is just the regular one, and we'll have streamers or tails coming down. Well, actually I'll show you that one first. So you could use the bow dabber for both of them. Some people have what they call the easy bow, which you can also find at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, wherever. I don't have that. The difference is on the easy bow, it's like a long piece of wood, and it has the inches of how big the loops are. This you could do the same thing with. There's a piece of mesh caught in here. But I use my mat. So I'm going to show you how to do that one first. So on that one, or the tails to come down. I don't have an easy bow. And I returned it because I said this does the same thing. You only slide, it's a choice. With the numbers are laying down, when you use the big loop, you kind of cover the other loops, but it is your choice on what you want to do. Use a coupon. Sometimes you can get the easy bow for like $6. The coupon, these I think around $12.99, so use a 40% off, 50% off at the stores. I like the bow dabber too. A lot of people don't use it. That's the easiest for me. So I decide how long the tail I want to make. So let me just back this up. Ooh. So let's say I'm going to make this tail inches long, and that's the part that's going to hang down for what I want my loop to be. Because you said you had a 7.5-inch bow width bow ribbon. So decide how big you want that loop. With the wire in there, of course, the bigger you go, the floppier it may be, and if your ribbon is thick enough to be able to support a big enough bow. So for instance, let's say this one, this is going to be 10 inches. 10 inches, so that actually makes my ribbon. You can see how it folds in like that. So I measured it 14 inches, so each half of this is 7 inches long. Okay? You're going to, I do mine upside down and backwards because I'm ambidextrous. You would twist your bow, your ribbon, measure out, again, 14 inches of your bow. This is, in here I would lay, my tails are all facing the way I want it to be. You could do your loops when you hold it in, the loops are even. If you have it in here already, you could do kind of the same thing. So I would do this, and I would cut it off. I would do, so this was 14 inches. I may go 13 inches because I want this bottom bow, or I may even want this bottom bow to show. And each time you go down and down and this, and you have your bow to wrap around it and attach it to your wreath. What I do if I'm doing a bow like this, people use cable, Oh my gosh. Those plastic things are the cable tie things. Oh my God. And they're staring right. Oh. Okay, I gotta get one. Just don't want my camera to fall. These. Oh, not that one. These babies. And you can use that to wrap around. Before you pull it tight, you can either stick a piece of wire in, another one the other way, so that you have a way to attach it to your wreath. I like using the wire, and I'll take whatever the last color bow is on top, and I'll make a little piece, just kind of whatever is on top, and I'll fold it in like this, and I'll cut off a piece, and I'll bring it around like this and tie it in the back. Actually, this is the bow that I'm talking about right here, like my handy dandy hangers. So this was my bottom bow. Then I made one shorter, shorter, shorter. I wanted this to really stick out so you could see the difference. This is about an inch shorter on this. This was 12 inches. I think I went 11 inches on this. I went shorter, shorter, and you can make it whatever sizes you want. But if your big bow being that wide, you know, just make sure on your loops that however big you're going to make it, that it's able to support that. Zip tie, thank you. I just could not, oh, it's going to drive me crazy. All right, so that's one way to make the bow, Lisa bow. Okay, and it's like a little man, you know, with two legs and an arms and a head, or you see it at the car dealers. Thank you. Sure, Michelle. All right, so now with the Lisa bow, I don't need my tails to be that long. And this is actually a Lisa bow behind me. This is what we're going to be making. So it's created in layers, and you can do it all the same color. You can mix it up, do whatever. All right, and I'm going to use my bow dabber. So this is when whatever's on the bottom, you want it to show through. If you have all these tails sticking all the way out, you're not going to actually see the bow loop. But again, so on this, okay, I'm going to start with this guy. So we get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay. So I'm going to do, because I have 6 pieces of ribbon here that I'm going to be using. So this one I'm going to do at 10 inches. And again, actually, he's going to be bigger. Make him at 12, so he's actually 6 inches. I think I'm going to go bigger than that. I do. I will take my wreath and I will lay it down. And since this is not going to be I think that's going to be big enough. So here's my sign. And do I want it to be bigger than that? And I think I'm going to go a little bit bigger than what I had here. Oops. So I made this 13, so what's 15? Ugh, it's an odd number. Let's go 14. And this is just one way you can get an idea if that's going to be big enough. And you see, if you make a circle, that's about how big the bow's going to be. If that helps you, Michelle. Alright, so an Elisa bow, the other one 14 inches too. Like I said, this is a really stiff bow, so I have to watch it as I go, because you got to twist it as you go. So this little guy is going to have 2 legs, an arm, and a head. Look at how that folds. It's crazy. All right, that's going to be my 2 legs. You see his head, and he's got 1 arm. Take my bow dabber, twist it around. Make sure all my twists are up, because I want this is bigger this way. Now I have a tendency, this is the last one, to make that always bigger for some reason. See, now they're even. This one's a little bit bigger. Let's pull it this way. Here we go. still bigger. How did I get to be so big? I got funky fingers. There we go. Alright. And I'll show you once I cut it. Here's my scissors. Doesn't matter how long you cut it. You know, I don't care if they're uneven. Once I put the whole bow together, I will get it. So you see? Alright. So here's my base one. Now I'm going to pull out my next one. We have it folded back like that. One side, because you can never get that out. That one about 8 inches long. Do about the same. We did that one at 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So we're going to do this one. Ooh, this is really stiff. At 12. You can put it on top and you can see the difference, because I want that underneath bow to be seen. Now I can make it a little bit bigger, probably. Let's see. Right? Ooh, this is really stiff. And because, like I said, I'm ambidextrous, so I don't know if this is righty, you put it on the right side, or if this is considered lefty. Get in there. See, I always make that last loop, even though it measures the same. Okay, so now I have my little guy in the opposite. So his head is going to go, his feet are going to. So you have a peekaboo bow. I call it peekaboo. And then you cut up that. So again, it's opposites. And each time you go, you're going to opposite. Let's do this one at 10, 9, 8, 7. What I keep counting is because I want that little bow just to have little loops. I don't want it to see how this one sits in the center like this. This is what I like, rather than so you don't see what's underneath it, whether it's a pipe cleaner or whatever. You like the polka dot bow? I do. You know what? Everybody loves the polka dot. It's like the biggest thing this year, and color-wise. And it took me a while to get them. 2 of every color. I got black, I got a blue jean, I got a gray, I got an orange. I got a whole slew in my drawer. And I was just like, yay! Actually, I just got them in last week. So this is the first time. Oh, this is such good ribbon. Now, some people will say they're not going to use their good ribbon in doing all their tails. I do it whatever floats my boat. So this is, so see each layer, it's a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. Now you can make 2 of them the same length if you want to. It's your choice about fluffing these guys. But I do see he's just a little bit longer. Just saw my ribbon just unrolled. Probably that's too long, but that's okay. And this is where's my little guy? I moved him. I've been moving anything all around the table to push down on the ribbon here to push it down. Alright, here comes the multicolored polka dots. My witch's leg is literally rolling on the floor. Literally. Look at all this. Mesh roller, because it has the ribbon, it holds it on the bottom. So that doesn't happen. It's okay. Probably is because I just pushed it all down there. Alright, so now we got some of this, because you guys, we voted on this. This is pretty. You guys did good on voting on this. So there. Look little bit shorter. So this one I think is like 10. Yep. 10, 10, 10, 10. And 10 more. Whoop. See, I didn't twist my ribbon around on that one. Oh, this is pretty. You guys did good. All right. All right. So I'm pretty much been doing 8 or 9 inches because as the bows get smaller. 8. Nope, he's going to be at 9. Gotta make an 8. 8 it is. Oh! Come on. 8, 8. Alright, there we go. Now look, see, it doesn't matter because you're going to have one leg of nothing you could do about that. And it's funny because when you do words, you'll find the same. You're doing the opposite that way. So if you're looking this way. The last one is the orange. I'm going to take them off because I put them a little further down there. Ooh, this is going to be nice. Witch's legs disappear. Polka dots disappear. Look at that! Now I'm going to do. It's going to be about. It's going to be pretty. Actually, could probably do them at 5, 6. Oops, I just can't see. Out, so it's basically a 3-inch loop. I think it's going to be. The thing is, a lot of people when they do wreath, you always think, oh, it's got to match. Everything's got to be matchy-matchy. Bringing in different colors and styles, and once you put it all together, you're like, that's pretty cool. All right, so I will flip. So I use the orange one on the top, little thing to tie. And this is Michelle on the other one. You could do the same, the other bow too. So you're just going to take this in, fold it in. Now I can use, a lot of times I will use a pipe cleaner and then you don't have to do this, which I could use as well. Because I have a lot of orange. Do I have orange? I have one. Oh, my oranges. Alright. Use this and make a tie on top. Alright, so this is the wire. You just cut it to whatever length you think it's going to be that you're going to be able to use. I always have what I need. And that's okay because, so make it about halfway. And then you gotta grab all of this goodies. Make sure you get the bottom. Press it. Don't worry about fluffing and stuffing it because we're gonna do that when we put it on the fluff box. And I just twist. And see it's sticking together. Now this piece here, like I said, we're just gonna fold it. And because I want to cover the wire. Sure, my wires are split apart this way because that's pretty much how it's going to go on the wreath itself. Stick this in the middle, bring it around, just tie a knot. Okay. It sometimes breaks up on the broadcast, Cynthia. You just have, that's just Facebook, unfortunately. tie it tight. Yeah. And I'm just going to leave these in there because you're not going to see them. Fluff box. Ugh. So I'm going to take a nail, a little eye hook, and just wrap this here. And my bow's not going to go anywhere. You can start at the top, you can start at the bottom. It's wherever you want to start in fluffing your bow. Some people will start on the bottom, work their way up. I just wanted to get these out. I'm going to ducktail all these once I get it all fluffed up. I'm just right now doing a little fluff on the loops themselves. Spread it out. Making sure everything's turned up the way I want it. Susie, I know. Everybody wants you. Don't worry. I understand. Alright, so we just fluff it around here. I'm going to probably disappear my head because I like to stand up and do this one. And you just do it to you however you think it should be fluffed. I try to spread it around as much as I can to have the colors on all the different sides. So not everything, you know, one color's on one side. And it just goes to your taste and what you think it should be. And once, of course, I fluff all this and then put it on the wreath, I'm going to have to refluff it all. You know how that goes. So this gives me a basic idea of what I want to do with my tails. So I'm just going to ducktail them right now, just to get them a little bit shorter, a little bit finished off. And I always try to do the same colors so that I know I have that particular ribbon done. Because sometimes if you try to just work around it, you wind up skipping to you, whatever you think is best. Is it going on and off? Venus, you may have to go out and come back in. Can't do anything about it because mine is still showing it in. There I go. Let me sit down now. Yeah, I can't stop it. I can't do anything with it, unfortunately. So I'm just cutting and just ducktailing it a little bit, and I'll make them small. By meaning evening out, if I have one that's longer than another, I'll even it out once I get it on the wreath. See, like I have to see how the difference is. That's okay because I don't want it to be long on top. Where did I miss? Orange. Okay, Michelle. Yes, bear with it. Like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. I've had it happen sitting there for like sometimes a couple of minutes and you're like, okay. And then you just go out and you come right back in and then it seems to work and it goes back and forth. All right. And like I said, to where you basically want it to be. And then I'm going to cut these back a little bit more. Michelle, has this been helping you on the two different styles of bows? Now, you can look on your wreath. Sometimes you'll find, oh, that looks like there's more here and not enough here or something. Although mine are pretty even, so it really doesn't matter where I'm going to put this. What matters is where I'm going to put the sign. So let's decide on that before I place the bow. Whoops, don't get caught. So we're going to put this on an angle. Oh, not a... No. to me. Alright. So every time you look at this, let's see how this goes. I think more in the center, because if the bow's going to go like that, let's see, now I turned it upside down. How does that look? Does that look? See, I think I angled. So should I put the bow? Let me put this on because that's what's confusing me, because it's not. So I think angled like that. I concur. It's like a circle, and you look at it, you think it's straight, but it's on an angle, or it's on an angle and you think it's straight. So you just gotta go with the flow. Okay, let's see if this will work. Now you can put this right through the mesh. I want to make sure my tails are up. There's one here. So let's see if that works. See, I keep changing it. Then you just bring it from behind. And I'm just going to wrap it around a couple of times. It's not going to be tight because I just want to see. And I'll push all this kind of forward like this just to get it more out there, because I don't need to see it from behind. See, perfectionist, all the tails. Alright, so let's see what this shows. There's my bottom. Sometimes getting it through these, you're like, I know I'm close. Like, where am I? Here we are. There's one. Come on, you're right there. There's two. So let's see what this looks like. And again, because everything's wired, the ribbons and everything, I can fix it once I flip it over. And again, I'm just doing this a couple of times around just to see kind of where I am and if this is where I want it to be. And then I can tighten it up. I think this is going to be loose. So, it still looks like it's up high. So let's move this one down a little bit. When you flip it over, it's like upside down backwards, and then you're like, wait a minute, was that the upside or the downside? So this is going to be the downside. Bring it on this side. I know, it is kind of funny, isn't it? It's like sometimes when you watch people on their lives, everything's backwards to them. It's like they see it right, but you'll see it backwards. You'll see the word boo and it's oop. And it's just kind of funny. Hopefully you guys are seeing this correctly. I think you guys are. Alright, let's see if I got it right this time. So I think that side needs to go up a little higher. I lowered that side and this side still needs to go up. Let's put it on the other side of this bar. bring this one on the other side of this bar. Oops, get down there, mesh. And that should work. I may fiddle around with it after I'm with you guys, just because that's just me. See how that looks. Why does it still look like it's even? Did they start putting out Christmas stuff, Michelle? No, it's not. Oh, you know what I can do? See, I could do it this way. Then it's on an angle. See, that's the problem. I keep seeing it this way, and I can just turn the wreath that way. That would solve my problem, wouldn't it? Or is that backwards to you? Wait. I still have to fiddle with that, because that's going to drive me crazy. But we are going to put the bow on, because the bow is not going to matter, and then when I have the bow on, it will probably make it easier for me to see. So I'm going to pick a spot, because I want this. Gosh, that's going to drive me crazy. I think it's just because it's not up in the center as much, and I have it down to the bottom. I think that might be the issue. You think that's fine, Michelle? If I do it like that. Now, I could put the bow off to the side like that. What do you guys think? Or I could put it in the middle. Or I can put it on this. I don't think this side. Either the middle or off to the side. I could always create another bow here, but I think that's going to be too much. Do it like this way off to the side like that. The way it is like that? Okay. Let me fix my tails. I'm going to kind of bring these a little bit more that way, so when I place the bow, see, I'm upside down and backwards, I can't see. Off to the side. Okay, I agree. I'm going to twist this once, and I'm going to kind of flatten this one out a little bit because it's sticking up, so when I stick the bow. So you have 2 wires. Now, if you're doing what they call the poof method on these, now I did the ruffle method. When you do a poof method, you know, it kind of looks like a poof like this. You want to set it on top of the poof, not in between them, because the poof will kind of keep your bow up. So I'm kind of using this as a little thing to help me keep my bow up so that it doesn't sink down into it. Okay, I got 1 wire. Got it. Fun part. All right. Whoop. My wire got twisted there on that. So I'll cut my wire after. And what I do is I cut it and I'll wrap it around the bar. What do you guys think? I'm gonna fluff my bow. Now my tails, because I do have one, these are really kind of longer than what I need them to be. Especially this orange one. I don't want it to cover the sign really. So cut that one back. Where's my other tail? That looks funny. There we go, that's better. Now you can tuck this behind if you want to, but I like something kind of covering the sign a little bit, just because it gives it a little bit more dimension. And I'm going to go back and I'll fluff my tails out here. so that you can see them better, because some of them got squished when I was flipping this thing upside down. And you can bring some of your mesh, like this one I can bring on top. Whoops. I didn't cut this orange one. Thank you, Michelle. You know, sometimes you can do these things really fast and whip them out. It's not to say I like to take my time, but when I'm doing it with you guys, it does take a little bit longer to do them. But I also, you know, am trying to help you guys so you guys can see how they're made and the amount of time and effort. Because a lot of people think, oh gosh, it costs too much, you know, and stuff like that. But you don't realize how much time and effort and stuff you put into these guys. But I love making them. Ooh, the orange really stands out. Yeah, I know. It is time consuming, but it's just fun. That's all I can say. It's just fun. Ooh. I cut that right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll fluff these guys later. Erica, if you go onto my Etsy shop, it's NonnasNuttykrafts on the Etsy. It's www.etsy.com/shop.nonnaskrafts. I'll post it on the bottom in the comments. And then you can go on there and you can see. I have, you know, some Halloween ones on there. I have some fall ones. I started some Christmas, and there's some Christmas ones on there. I do custom ones as well. So if you guys like it, it'll be there. I'll have just a generic picture because I like to take my pictures during the day because the sun looks pretty on them, and that way you can really see all the colors truly. So I'm just going to put a live one on there, and I'll just put on this one witch's wreath or candy corn wreath, and you guys can look at it for that way. So I'm going to fluff this baby out, all the tails that I squished when I flipped it upside down, but I think it came out kind of cute. Whoops, this way. Dun, dun, dun. The witch. Welcome, my pretties. So if you do want to come and get live alerts from me, please type the word alert down in the comment box, and I'll be more than happy to send you that. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Erica. And I'll put my Etsy shop on there as well. It is listed in the comments already, but I'll go ahead and re-put it in there for you guys. And I'd love to see you guys back. I got some more wreaths. I got a box sitting down here. I kind of created a bunch of things that we can do. And this is going to be one that I want to do with you guys. This may take a while, so I'm going to pre-do this one. This is a snowman, needless to say. And he's already wired together. But I'm going to use this. Something different to do than just the mesh. And this I thought was cute. It has these little loops on it, and it is so soft. So I want to do, I'm going to have to pre-start this because this is going to take a while to do, and wrap it around and things, and I think it would be kind of cool as a little snowman. So that's going to be one of our lives. I love having you, Venus. Christina. Hopefully it won't rain tomorrow, Christina, and we can play Powder Puff. So, all right, you all. I am going to say goodnight from NonnasNuttykrafts, and I will post the links down below. I will post it again for the mesh roller. But if you forget, just go scroll up in the comments and you'll see it in there. The Brodabber, like I said, you can get that in any craft store, Joanne, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, wherever. And if you guys, you know, type alert in the bottom, you'll get messages when I go live again. All right? So thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And you guys have a nice night. Bye.